It's the end of the year, beginning of the next year, and you're still the same. New year, same old you. Except it's the new year. You're gonna start a New Year's resolution. You're actually gonna get it done this time, because this year is gonna be different. All those other years where you start New Year's resolutions, said you're gonna do all those things, but you never did them. Forget all those years. This year is different. You're gonna use like willpower or something like that to push through. But is it really different? Why force something that has a track record of failure when you could just do something else? So New Year's resolutions are trash. So what can you do instead? Well, I could tell you about all the things that I've been doing that's been working well and all the different results that I've been getting and how good that I'm doing. But instead of doing all of that, I think it's better if I just explain to you why New Year's resolutions are trash and then what you can do instead. That way you can come to your own conclusion on whether that'll work. And I think that's much stronger than me trying to shove my results down your throat and just force you to listen and try to just blindly do what I tell you to do versus you understanding it and really wanting to do it yourself. So on to the explanation on why New Year's resolutions are trash. And I think you can imagine this by two people that are playing the same video game and both have a goal of getting to the max level. Let's just say it's level 100. But right now they haven't started playing yet. They're both level 1. But within the next year, they want to get to level 100. And one of those players, they have this goal. So they decide like, okay, right now it's December or right now it's January. Throughout the month of January, I'm just going to plan out my path to level 100. I'm just going to 100% plan. I'm not going to do no leveling up or anything like that, no getting XP. I'm just going to plan in January, and then throughout the rest of the year, I'll execute my super plan to get to level 100. And then the other player was like, okay, I don't really know how to get to 100. I could plan it out, but yeah, whatever. I'm just going to focus on getting to level 2, and then level 3, level 4, whatever. I'll just start grinding on levels. Doesn't really matter. I don't need to plan anything out or anything like that. So by the end of January, you got this player who did all this planning and whatever, and he's still level 1, but he has this huge plan. And then you have the other player who's not level 1 anymore. By the end of the month, he's like level 20 or something like that already. And then also, yeah, this guy, he didn't really have the knowledge or the research built up, but through the act of actually going through, he just figured out like, oh, I can get from level 2 to 3 and then 3 to 4. He just paid attention to wherever he was, don't really paying attention to the other levels. Versus the person on level 1, he spent all his time just planning out all the way to level 100, but he's still level 1. And then you go all the way throughout the other year, and this is what it looks like. You have this person who's already like, started at level 1, but like now level 20, and throughout the year, like, okay, he actually reaches level 100 and then gets there through the experience he's built up over time and then the knowledge he builds up through every level to get to the next level. Versus the other guy, he did all his planning, he's level 1 for the first month. Throughout the other months, he goes through his plan, is like, oh, I'm getting to level 20. He gets to level 20 in like February or something like that. But then he's starting to realize like, oh, this plan is not really working because the knowledge that I had when I was level 1 wasn't really complete, and I wasn't really understanding how to get to the further levels until I actually got there. So now that I'm level 20 to level 21, well, this plan is kind of invalid. I just have to go through and get to the next levels. And maybe now that he realizes his plan is garbage, he kind of gets discovered and maybe like, oh, just kind of stagnate a little while, not really leveling up. Versus the other guy, he's made progress. Throughout the whole year, he's made progress and he's reached his goal to level 100. And this guy, he just stopped because he's discouraged that his plan doesn't work. And you can put this back into the context of a New Year's resolution. And maybe you figured out all the different points on why New Year's resolutions are garbage throughout that explanation that I just gave. But breaking it down, the first point is, why should you wait for the new year in the first place? So like this person, he just procrastinated, made the New Year's resolution and used that to take up all his time. Versus the other person already got to level 20. That's huge progress. And the second point is, why not consistently improve? So this person right here, they made their plan and they decide like, oh, I'll figure out like level 1 to 100 and then I'll do the whatever stuff. And then they kind of like, kind of up and down throughout the whole thing. Versus this person, he just like, okay, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. And he forgot about all the other levels because like, why focus on level 10 when you're still not even level 2 yet? Just figure out how to get to level 2 first and then you can worry about level 3. And then just consistently move along the way and then you'll gain the experience that you need to get to the next level by getting that previous level versus trying to plan out things that you really don't know about in the first place. And the third point is, see this person, they planned out that huge goal of all the way to level 100, but they didn't really have the right knowledge for it. So it's like sort of a vague plan that they had. And then once they went through a couple of months, like February, they got to level 20, and then they got a couple more levels and like, oh, this plan's really not working anymore. So they got discouraged and they just stopped, like, okay, forget it. I can't get to level 100. So these very vague, large plans rarely work, which is the last and third reason. So if I really boil it down, the 3 things are level 2 before level 3. Just do what you can, don't worry about anything else. Then don't wait to start. You can just start right now. There's literally no good reason that you should be waiting. And the third thing is make specific and small steps for the bigger goal. Don't just try to tackle the entire thing at once, because there's things in there that you don't really know about that you can't really plan for, so you just take it one step at a time, which will keep you consistently improving. So start now, don't wait for any New Year's resolutions. If you want to start making 10K per month, then how about you figure out how to provide enough value to make even just $1 per month? And then if you want to get a 6-pack or something like that, how about you just start by cutting out, say, 1 bag of chips or doing a few push-ups per day? If you want to get a girlfriend or something, how about you start with yourself to actually create yourself into the person that would attract the person that you want, rather than just trying to go out and do any tricks or something like that, some New Year's resolution stuff. And one last little bonus tip is don't tell anybody else about your goals. Just go and start doing them, because if you do tell somebody about your goals and you don't yet take action on them, the gratification that you get, the little dopamine boost that you get from telling people about all these great things that you're going to do, will actually make it so that you already feel satisfied by that and are less likely to actually do the thing. And this is backed by neuroscience, something that Andrew Huberman said. So you're ready to forget about New Year's resolutions and actually start making progress right now. But you realize that there's actually a lot of different things that you want to do, and you're not sure how to organize it in a way that keeps you the most productive. Well, you can actually watch this video here where I talk about my 5-step productivity method, which I crafted literally over hundreds of hours of doing research, watching countless videos, reading books on productivity, and then testing it for myself. That allows me to stay over 90% productive and on track for my goals. And if you thought this was helpful, click subscribe, because in the coming weeks I'll be putting out a lot of stuff on optimizing health, wealth, and also a bit about relationships, which I think will be helpful if you plan on actually taking action right now and making improvements in the new year rather than waiting.